guys, in this video I'm going to go ahead and use a couple different calculators to show you guys how to do these pH calculations. I know since we're all at home, you have access to different tools, and so I've downloaded a couple calculators onto my phone, and then I've also downloaded a Texas Instruments calculator, which we actually have software in the Software Center on your district device that you can download, which it's called Wabbit EMU. And let me go ahead and write that down. And that's a T right here. So Wabbit EMU is a Texas Instruments calculator emulator, and you can download that from the Software Center, the CCISD Software Center. So if you need a calculator, try to do that, because that's going to give you one that looks just like the calculators that we use in class, which is going to be very similar to this Texas Instruments calculator that I have right here on the screen. But if that doesn't work and you can't do that, then I'm going to show you how to use this HyperCalc, which is a free calculator that you can get from the Apple Store. If you don't have an Apple device, you'll be able to find something similar in another app store. And then I'm going to show you this really cool calculator that will make these calculations super easy. The only drawback to this one is it costs about $3. So if you don't want to spend $3 on a calculator, then you have other options you can look at. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. With pH calculations, we have these two formulas. This first one is going to allow us to calculate what the pH is if we're given the hydrogen ion concentration, and this second one down here allows us to calculate the hydrogen ion concentration if we're given the pH. So, for example, we're going to go ahead and work with this first equation up here. I want to calculate the pH of a solution. Let's come up with a concentration here. Oops. I'm going to be calculating pH, but I need to know my hydrogen ion concentration. So my hydrogen ion concentration is going to be equal to, let's say, 2.5 times 10 to the negative 3. All right, there's my hydrogen ion concentration, and I want to know what the pH is going to be of this solution if the hydrogen ion concentration is 2.5 times 10 to the negative third. Okay? And so if I'm plugging this into my calculator, I'm going to go ahead and write it out like it would be in this equation. So I have negative log, and then my calculator is going to go ahead, some of them will put the parentheses in there. If it doesn't, you want to put parentheses around this next part. And then I'm going to plug in this hydrogen ion concentration where it shows up in this equation up here. So I'm going to write 2.5 times 10 to the negative third. And I need to know how to put this in my calculator. So what I'm going to do, I showed you this in the example calculations using this white calculator. I'm going to use this first, and then I'm going to come over here and show you how to use these two calculators. So I need to hit negative and log, and then you'll notice the calculator puts the first parenthesis in there. And then I want to enter this this number as a number in scientific notation, so 2.5, and then I'm going to come up here and hit second, and then I want this EE function right here. The reason why it's two E's is so you can distinguish it from this letter E up here, but it's just going to put one little E, and that E represents this X, or this times 10 right here. And then whatever number you enter after this E right here is going to be, the calculator knows that that's going to be an exponent. So I'm going to hit negative 3, and then I'm going to close my parentheses and click enter. And that right here gives me a pH. So my pH is going to be equal to 2.6. So there's my pH. That's the answer for this first one. Okay? So, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other calculators that I have here. Let me go ahead and unlock my phone. All right, HyperCalc is what we're going to look at first. Well, I'm typing this in, I'm going to hit this negative button down here, and I'm going to try to point because I have to do this on my computer screen, and so I'm touching the negative sign. Remember not to use the minus sign. You want to always use the negative button. And then I'm going to come up, where's log? Right here, I'm going to click log, negative log, and you'll notice this calculator goes ahead and it puts both parentheses up here. So I just need to calculate or type in the rest of this calculation. So I'm going to put 2.5, and I also want to make sure that this is in scientific notation. So the EE button is right here in the same spot that it was in our other calculator, right above 7. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to hit second and E, and then whatever comes after that is going to be our exponent, so I'm going to hit -3 and enter, and I get the same answer. Sweet. So 2.6 is going to be our pH. Okay, so let me show you one more calculator real quick. We're going to go over here to calculator 2. This one I really like. This is the one that costs like $3, but this is the one that's going to make your life super easy. You don't have to remember about touching buttons or anything like that. You just literally write your equation on your screen. So let me get my stylus here. All right, so I'm just gonna write the equation: negative log 2.5 times 10 to the -3rd power, and voila, it gives you the answer. So you literally just write it on your screen and it gives you your answer. So the pH is going to be 2.6 for this as well. All right, so now let's go ahead and bring this one back up for a second. Let's go ahead and do the other calculation. So for this formula right here, I'm given my pH. So do we want to use this? Yeah, let's use the same. So let's say our pH is equal to 2.6, and we want to know, now we're calculating what our hydrogen ion concentration is, and we already know the answer is going to be this, but that's just a way for us to make sure we're pushing the right buttons on the calculator for right now. So I'm going to take this number and I'm going to plug it in to the equation right up in here, and I'm going to use the anti-log button. Don't type in 10 and then use the little caret. You don't want to do that. I'm going to show you the right buttons to push here. So our hydrogen ion concentration is going to be equal to the anti-log of -2.6. I'm just going to put in my pH right there. You don't want to forget that negative sign either, because that's going to give you problems with your calculations. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out how to plug this into the calculator. I'm going to go ahead and use the TI calculator first. I'm going to clear, no, we'll leave it in. Okay, so anti-log, where's the anti-log button? It's the log button, you just have to hit second first. I'm going to hit second, log, and then notice that it gives me my nice little 10 right there with the exponent, and then I'm going to hit -2.6 and enter, and it gives me my concentration. So this doesn't look like this, but if we were to move this decimal over and put this number in scientific notation, then we would get the same number. So let's go ahead, let's do that real quick. Okay, so the answer here, I'm trying to calculate hydrogen ion concentration. What am I doing? Hydrogen ion concentration is going to be equal to, and if I move my decimal over, I'm going to have to move it over, so 1, 2, 3, I'm going to end up with 2.5. Remember, my coefficient always has to be between 1 and 10. 2.5 times 10, and I had to move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right, so that's going to be -3, and that matches this, so we know that we did the calculation correct. We're all good. Now let's go ahead and do it in the other calculator. Let's see. We got it up. All right, so I'm going to hit second, log, just like on the other calculator, and it's going to give me this 10 with a space for an exponent up here again. Then I'm going to enter -2.6, enter, And it does the same thing, it gives me the same answer. I just have to convert it to scientific notation. We do the same thing, we get the same answer. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at our other handy dandy calculator. So if I have, I hope this works on this one. I haven't done this one on this one yet. Oops, I wasn't done there. Negative 2.6 equals, there we go. It's going to give us the same thing. Let's see, will it give us more decimal places? Don't know. It would be nice if it showed more decimal places. Okay, well, it works well enough, so we can see that the pH is going to be, or the concentration is going to be, you know, the same. It's just not giving us as many digits, and I'm not sure how to make that show more. Let's see. Well, it's a cool calculator. Maybe if I turn it sideways. My screen locked on. No, it's not even doing it then. Well, that's a bummer. Alright, well, this is a cool calculator, but obviously the free one is going to give you a better answer because it's going to give you more decimal places. So I hope this tutorial was helpful, and I hope that if you have calculator related questions that you contact me and let me know, and I'd be happy to help you out.